very excited, so I'm just going to ask you a few simple questions and just to sort of build more excitement here, and then hand it over to Justy, who will then field questions from the audience. So I'd like to begin with the first and I guess most obvious question is, how and why did you get into acting?
I don't know. It wasn't something where I was like, oh, I want to be an actor when I was younger. It was actually more, I studied martial arts, and I really, from watching like Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee and all those guys, I wanted to be like an action star, you know, and so I didn't really think much about acting. I just wanted to like do martial arts stuff. When I was training one day, my instructor saw in the newspaper that they were auditioning for Power Rangers, and he was like, well, you should go give it a shot. So I put something together with him, and I went and auditioned and got into it, and that's kind of how it started.
Okay. Do you expect any this level of success with the role with the Power Rangers?
I mean, no. I didn't realize how big it was, you know. I lived in Texas, and then I moved to California to do the show, and yeah, I was there by myself, you know. I didn't have family or friends out there, so I really, and at the time the show was just huge, you know, and so anywhere I would go, I would get recognized, and so it's pretty crazy. I didn't realize it, but I couldn't like go to Six Flags. But it was nice because I could go to the DMV and get straight in front of the
benefits. Now you mentioned I know that you do most of your own stunts.
I did some of my stunts. I mean, I did all of my stunts if you saw my face, you know, or if you saw half of my head. But usually if there's a helmet head running around, then it was either stock footage from the Japanese, or there was a Japanese guy in it, or one of the other stunt guys were typically in the helmet.
And crush people's dreams.
I know, sorry. I just gotta tell you guys the truth. You wanna know something else? The Pink Ranger was a guy too, alright? Occasionally there was a girl. And I think now the new stuff is now a girl also, but when I was on the show, half the time it was a dude.
Now, with your martial arts training, is this a role that has let you explore more of your preparation in that area?
Well, all it really did was help me to show off things. The majority of it wasn't very practical. It's not really practical martial arts, flipping around and stuff.
Oh, it looks cool.
It looks cool, though, yeah. But
you've done TV and film, and now obviously you're doing a lot of voice acting. How did you transition into voice acting, and how would you compare the three?
Well, after Power Rangers, I did this independent film with the stunt crew, Alpha Stunts, and Koichi Sakamoto, who later became executive producer of Power Rangers. And so he was doing this little film that's more of kind of like a show-off reel of all this action stunt stuff. And so I was the star of that, and basically the camera they were using was a Japanese camera, and or everything on it was Japanese. And so when the sound guys were trying to get the sound out of it, they couldn't understand because everything was in Japanese. So the audio basically was ruined, and so I had to go back in and redub my voice over the whole movie. And the producer who was producing the film was actually also doing no, will you stop talking? My daughter, she's very noisy. And anyhow, the producer was actually producing other anime stuff, so when I was dubbing, he said, you have a good hero voice, and eventually he said, why don't you come in and audition? I went in and auditioned for a show called Trigun, and and that was the start for me, and it just kind of rolled into more things after that.
So you've never done voice acting prior to that?
No, I mean, we did, obviously, the helmet head stuff, you know, like this. Right! Yeah, a lot of the action stuff. No, Tommy, I won't do that. Right, hold on. I want a cheeseburger. So that was the only ADR stuff that we did.
Don't forget the hands. The hands,
yeah, oh yeah. That was more of a Hitler thing. That we didn't do any of that.
So do you have, with voice acting now, how is it different from, I don't want to say normal acting, but like your physical acting? Is that...
it's pretty different. I mean, you're still... Well, you can't compare it to Power Rangers because... Well, I mean, I couldn't really, because at first I didn't really even know what I was doing on Power Rangers. It was a kid's show and it was super cheesy, so... It's pretty different from that and then, you know, Akira or, you know, even Bleach or whatever. You know, they're very different. There's more story in a lot of the anime that I've done than there was in Power Rangers. So, in that way, it was very different, you know. Even just from Power Rangers to Trigun, you know, there's a lot of depth in Trigun, you know, even though his character was really way over the top, but he was hiding this past, you know. So there's so much more involved, and I actually learned a lot more as far as acting is concerned, doing voiceover, than I ever did doing Power Rangers. So, for me, it was a very different experience.
Now, of all the characters that you've done as a voice actor, which has been your favorite? Have you enjoyed one more than the other?
That's a tough question because there's so many things that, I mean, even doing Adam, you know, playing Adam was awesome because it was like my first real thing aside from Taco Bell or Subway. And then
are those commercials available?
What was that?
Are those commercials available?
Oh, they weren't commercials. I worked there. That's right, man. I stirred the beans, all right? I washed the dishes. So I was a sandwich artist. I don't know if they still call them that at Subway.
That's for Subway.
Yeah. I was a sandwich artist. Mostly just threw food around. So. I don't even know what I was talking about anymore.
Your favorite character?
Oh yeah, favorite character. I don't know, there's a lot. I like Bash, I like Will Strain. I like Ichigo, Hollow Ichigo. Nero from Devil May Cry 4. That's one of my favorite characters to play because I wasn't limited to picture, because with animation, or the anime, where it's drawn, you know, so if Ichigo's screaming, I gotta make him scream, or whatever he's doing, I gotta match it, you know, but with Nero, it was a script, you know, so I basically got to create the emotion, you know, and that was just cool, I wasn't limited. And then I got to go to Japan, you know, and do all the motion capture.
Japan rules!
Right now, there's a lot of radiation, so I don't know. Too soon? Still? I thought it was done. Okay.
Speaking of anime, why do you think anime is so popular?
I think I don't know. Because we all love cartoons. Yeah, I do love anime. Not all anime. Some of them run on too long. Well, you guys know what I'm talking about. I mean, it's hit or miss with a lot of anime. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's like some of them will start off really lame, but they get really good, and some will start off great and then end like, what the heck, is this it? And I've worked on a few shows that were like that, and some of them are just great from beginning to end, you know, and those are the ones that, you know, kind of stick in my head. Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. That was a great one. Just even the opening, going past those cemetery. Ninja Scroll. A lot of stuff that kids shouldn't watch, though, in that one.
Let me ask you, what advice would you give to aspiring voice actors or actors in general?
Well, aspiring voice actors, you need to be able to act, and you need to have a voice.
Oh wow.
There's been so many times when a person comes up to me and wants to be a voice actor, and they have a lisp or something, you know, and you obviously can't have a lisp unless your character has a lisp. So if you can get rid of it, great. So you got to have a decent voice, and you have to be able to act, and you have to be able to take direction, because a lot of times you'll be in there and you'll want to read the line in a certain way. You know, you will want to play the character a certain way, but the director or producers want it totally different. So you have to change it, you know, even if you hate it. Otherwise it won't work again.